Marketing for medical can be a pain. Whether you work in pharmaceutical marketing, medical device marketing, supplements, or hospitals, you face some unique challenges. You have multiple audiences, whether that's administrators, providers, doctors, physicians' assistants, nurses, patients, family members. Each audience has a different need, ranging from academic, peer-reviewed sources, all the way down to features and benefits. Not to mention the regulatory hassle of marketing inside of medical industries. Let's take a look at how ProMode can help marketers working in the medical field speak to all of these different audiences with a level of precision and empathy that makes for effective marketing. For this example, I'm going to be acting as a supplement company, and my audience is going to be private practice dermatologists. And I'm going to be promoting a new collagen product that we sell. And to illustrate how ProMode can transform messaging and source data for different audiences, I'm also going to build a marketing campaign that is direct to consumer with similar messaging for the same product so that you can see how the messaging is translated for different audiences. And just like any good marketer in the medical field, I always keep an eye out on the latest research and peer-reviewed studies and literature reviews related to the things that I sell. So in this case, what we're going to be using is a systematic review and meta-analysis of the effects of oral collagen for skin anti-aging. I'm going to be using this information to target my private practice dermatologist audience. And then I'm going to create a separate audience using this as my source information, the effects of collagen peptide supplementation on body composition, collagen synthesis, and recovery from joint injury. Let's dig into this workflow. First thing that I want to do is I want to add my source data for this campaign into my ProMode portal. And for this, I'm going to go down to my research fingerprint profile entry. I have already added this particular systematic review and meta-analysis into my fingerprint profile. And you see that I've extracted all the key features pertinent to my business here. And to show you how this is done, I'm going to go ahead and add a new research profile for my other systematic review related to body composition and recovery from joint injury. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to capture this URL. If you have a PDF, you can also grab that PDF and add it into your research profiles. And I'm just going to add that into my focus URL. I'm going to type in extract key findings from the study related to collagen and athletes. Entry has returned, and filtered through my focus and my existing databases, we have my research profile titled Collagen Supplementation for Athletes, Systematic Review of Efficacy. Of course, we always have the citations related to all these other features in the database. Save this research profile. I am going to be starting a reseller program for providers. So I'm going to need to create a new audience. In this case, target private practice dermatologists. Let's go generate that new audience profile. If you have additional details that you want to put in here, you can do so, whether that's a URL with more information or even a document. Let's say a call transcript from being on a video call. In this instance, I just want this agent to do some deep research for private practice dermatologists for whom a strong research backing is important for carrying supplements in their office. Generate that entry. A new audience profile, evidence first, dermatology resellers, the pain points, the solutions, and instructions for downstream agents on how to speak to these folks. All editable, you can add, you can delete, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and save this audience profile. Time to assemble my campaign. The purpose of this campaign will be to introduce my supplement company's reseller program to private practice dermatologists. So I'm going to create a quick 3-email sequence to these folks related to my collagen product. I'm going to go create a new overlay. Here we have in my focus, I've typed launching a reseller program into private practice dermatology offices for collagen product, strong evidence-based research backing. Go down to the audiences. I find the new dermatology reseller audience, 2 research profiles, and find the anti-aging effects systematic review research. Select that. Now generate this overlay. My overlay is ready. An agent has now analyzed my audience and the meta-analysis that I added into my profile and has created this overlay, which will be used for building our campaign. I'm launching this to the list that I just acquired of private practice dermatologists. Create that 3-email sequence now. This content has started. I also want to launch this campaign of my new collagen product direct to consumer. For that, I'm going to reconfigure this overlay. My new focus, launching my collagen product direct to consumer, focusing on benefits to athletes and injury recovery. Previously, my audience, I had evidence-first dermatology resellers. In this instance, choose a new audience. And in this case, aging athletes would be a good audience for this campaign. Down to my products and services profile, find my new collagen product, select that. And instead of the anti-aging effects, I want to use the other study that I added related to collagen supplementation for athletes and regenerate this overlay with the new databases and the new focus. And we have our new overlay now targeting active recovery, pulling all of the information from the study related to athletes is now here in our features with instructions and native instructions for downstream agents to assemble the messaging. We'll come back to generating the content here in a second. Navigate over here to my content review feed. My 3 email sequence is ready to go. Here's the cool thing about this. We built an audience. We knew that audience really values peer-reviewed studies, evidence-based supplementation. And in here, we see all of these studies are not only included in the text, but cited. Anytime you use any of your deep research, there are hard-coded instructions that everything must be cited if you're making any claims. Very important in the world of medical marketing. An agent has pre-scheduled my 3 emails to go out 1 week apart. Go ahead and approve my campaign to go out. Navigate over here to my calendar. 3 emails are scheduled and will publish to the email marketing platform that I've integrated with ProMode. Go back to that other overlay that we just created related to active recovery and build out my direct-to-consumer launch a week after my launch into dermatology. I want to announce this via a 3 email campaign. I also create a web page introducing this and schedule out a substantial amount of social posts, 4 pieces per platform, introducing this direct consumer product, and generate that content now. Content is starting to be returned into my content review feed. Let's have a look. So here's a really cool thing about ProMode is we have the same product and we're launching, one is direct consumer, one is B2B for a reseller program. And as you look inside of the content, this is entirely different from our provider-facing messaging. Same product, same benefits, all backed with these peer-reviewed studies. But in this instance, the content and the framing is entirely different because inside of your fingerprint profile, we defined what is important to each of these audiences. What are the pain points? What do they want to solve for? So that everything you see on the output always refers back to something that you have full visibility into. Web page and social posts for the launch. So now as I go through the process of reviewing and approving this content, go back over into my content calendar. And how sweet is this? Look at the month, and I have not only launched a reseller program with distinct messaging into these private practice dermatology offices, but I've also launched my direct consumer messaging to all my social platforms, onto my website, and in an email campaign as well. So you see we have a full content calendar. This entire product launch is now all done, accurate, and speaking to these 2 very different audiences.
LLM architecture for professional communicators.